Astrid Fuchs, who is the policy lead of the environmental group Whale and Dolphin Conservation. Astrid, welcome to the programme. Do we know now, at the moment, how whales experience pain, what their threshold of pain is, how they manifest discomfort? What do we know about that?
Well, thank you. We actually know a lot about that. They are very complex creatures. There's been a lot of research into how they react to stress and pain, and their brains are actually quite adept to those feelings, so they can actually experience physical pain. We know that from research into whaling and into other activities, but they can also actually experience emotional pain as well.
What's your reaction to what the scientists in Norway say, that they believe it's an important experiment because they need to understand how the sound that ships make affect minke whales?
Well, actually, we believe, and not only us, but over 50 leading scientists in the field of whale research believe that these experiments are completely unnecessary in the first place, because we know enough and a lot about how ocean noise affects whales and dolphins. And these experiments are actually not just into how ship noise affects the whales. They are conducted by the US Ministry of Defense, so it's actually a lot about how naval exercises and oil and gas drilling is affecting whales and dolphins. We know that has a very negative impact on them and other ocean life like fish as well. So these experiments will yield no useful research outcome actually, because they are set in a very unnatural surrounding. The whales will be very stressed. They will be caught and held in a modified salmon cage up to 6 hours, which is not a normal experience for a whale, so they will not react in a natural way to the noise they are exposed to.
Every creature has its place in the natural world, Astrid. How important are whales to the ecological balance of our planet?
Actually, we know today that they are very, very important. They have a huge impact on the ecological climate inside the sea, inside the ocean, but also for not only the ecosystem, but actually the world climate, because we owe every second breath we take basically to the ocean. Half the oxygen of the world is produced by ocean organisms, phytoplankton, so little plants in the ocean. And those plants are actually fertilized by the excrements of whales and dolphins. So they are essential for oxygen being produced by the ocean. And the whales themselves, as huge creatures, are also huge carbon sinks. They lock the carbon in their body, and when they die, they take it to the bottom of the sea, where it's locked for a long, long time. So they are very important for humanity's well-being and survival, actually.
How much are they suffering because of human activity? I mean, this experiment apart, which is clearly human activity interfering with their natural order. But what about generally the way we live as humans and what effect that is having on whales?
We have affected them hugely. Alone in the last century, industrial whaling has diminished whale populations with over 3 million whales being killed alone, in the last century. And today they are still hunted, but of course the biggest threat for them to date is fisheries being trapped and caught in fishing line, being hit by boats, being exposed to climate change, and being exposed to the pollution of the oceans. So we really need more research to know how to keep them well, but not the kind of research that is done in Norway, but non-invasive research, which is into protecting their habitat and keeping their habitat healthy so they can be healthy.
Astrid Fuchs, thank you so much for talking to us on the News Hour. Really appreciate it.